elected in the Senate today afternoon in a special sitting where members will either adopt or reject the new proposed but controversial formula for revenue allocation among the county governments. Now, last week, 21 senators protested and vowed to reject the new formula on the floor of the House. The Senate appears to be split right in the middle over the new revenue allocation formula. And let's now cross over to Nyeri and speak to our reporter, Ibrahim Karanja. Good afternoon, Ibrahim. It's great to see you. Now, this revenue will affect several counties. I am interested in knowing what leaders from Central think about it, specifically the governors. Karanja.
Well, good afternoon, Grace. Indeed, the eyes of the governors will be among the very many eyes that today will be settled in Parliament buildings, and especially the Senate, to see what decision will come out from that contentious revenue allocation bill. And that's why I want to speak to Nyeri Governor, the Honorable Mutahi Kahiga, and actually find out his expectation, the expectations of other governors from populous counties, or what they expect on this particular bill. Governor, thank you so much. We'll go straight into it. Tell us, what do you expect at the Senate today? Yes, it is contentious among the senators, definitely contentious amongst the governors. What do you expect?
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. I think looking at the way this third generation, revenue sharing formula, it looks like 29 counties are bound to get more revenue if we were to implement it and implement it immediately. Yes, there will be about 18 that may lose a little bit of it. But I think the bigger picture is that these 29 counties have lost over a period of 7 years, and it is time to correct an injustice. And therefore, I expect, and all of governors expect, that the 29 senators from these areas and from these counties that will be benefiting, and really it is all about population. Maybe the bigger focus should be there. Is those counties that have had an increase in population that stand to get to benefit. We'll expect the senators from those counties and all those that have been nominated from those counties to vote for this third revenue sharing formula, because it will open up. And a county like Nyeri is looking at an increase of about 600 million. 600 million, so that we do understand, is enough to build a level 4 hospital, equip it, and even run the hospital for a period of time. And so it's not little monies, and this is money we have continued to lose over the last 7 years, simply because some people somewhere were crafty enough to ensure that, yes, the first and the second generation revenue sharing formula focused more on population. And again, in 2009, they were also able to play around with the figures, and we did not get the correct population data in 2009.
Governor, among the things that we expect has been happening in the sidelines when such a contentious bill is happening is lobbying from governors from those populous counties, or lobbying from of leaders from those populous counties. Has this happened? Do you think the regions with most populous people have got actually enough, have done enough lobbying?
No, well, I'll say that I'm aware that there have been efforts by COG through our chairman and others to ensure that we lobby with the senators. But listening to the grapevine, many of the senators have their eye on the gubernatorial seat coming 2022. And our prayer to them is that even as they come, kindly make sure that there is more money for you to come and share out in the counties when you do come.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you have said that this is a time to correct an injustice.
Yes.
Many would argue that these counties that have actually been getting lots of money, the counties that are less populous, also need to grow. Don't you think that this will be an injustice to them?
Ibrahim, it is important that this country focuses on the baking of a cake, not only on the sharing of a cake. And I would propose that maybe 20% of all revenue collected within a county is left in the county before we can start talking about sharing the cake. And I am not ashamed to say that there are people, there are counties, there are other communities that have continued to penalize those counties that seem to be working hard. And an example is Nyeri, which has really contributes a lot to the GDP. But when you look at what we take home, vis-a-vis what others have been taking home, I think it is right to say this is the time to correct an injustice. Let's do what is right. One man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. That is as it should be.
My last question, and I want you to keep it very brief. How has Nyeri as a county been affected by what it has been getting as opposed to a different county that has been getting a bigger share?
I'll tell you this, Ibrahim, it all boils down to management. There are counties that have received a lot of money, but you will not see what has happened on the ground. Nyeri suffered for the first 5 years, but over the last 2-3 years, we have seen what devolution can do, and we will continue focusing. So we are asking for more money that we may do more for our people. The focus is on our people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mutahi Kahiga, the governor, Nyeri County, speaking about the revenue allocation. Grace, remember in our previous bulletin, Leo Mashinani had spoken to Kieni Member of Parliament, Kanini Kega, who agreed with what the governor is saying, and also said that it could be actually time to even reconsider how the Constituency Development Fund is also allocated. So this will be a very interesting afternoon to see at the Senate, and also when that particular bill moves to the National Assembly later this week. Grace.
Indeed, Karanja, thank you so much for that detailed report there. Of course, your conversation there with the Nyeri governor. Okay, so we're taking a short break here on News Desk, but stay with us. After the break, we remain with this story on what is expected